In popular culture, cannabis has transitioned from taboo to trend. But this isn't a moral argument or a scare piece. It's a reflection from someone who consumes cannabis daily. What's often missing from the conversation are more subtle cumulative effects on cognition, sleep, emotional regulation, and even identity. Especially if you've been told it's all good. Cannabis doesn't induce amnesia, but it does impair working memory and your ability to hold and manipulate information in short-term awareness. This explains the classic experience: zoning out mid-sentence, losing your train of thought, or forgetting what you just said. It's not dramatic, but it is consistent. And yes, I will be reading this video from a script because, as you can tell with the memory, I am lacking with it. The culprit is the THC's interaction with CB1 receptors in the hippocampus, the brain's hub for encoding new memories and spatial navigation. Long-term, these small deficits accumulate. Studies show regular users underperform in tasks requiring sustained attention, decision-making, or multitasking. Cannabis expedites sleep onset latency, meaning that it helps you fall asleep faster, but the quality of that sleep is severely altered. Chronic THC use suppresses REM sleep, the stage critical for emotional processing, memory consolidation, and cognitive integration of daily experiences. Deficits in REM can lead to emotional dysregulation, reduced creative insight, and long-term cognitive fog. When cannabis use is paused or stopped, users often report REM rebound, intensified dreaming, heightened emotional content, and sleep fragmentation. Think of your brain like a device you never power off. I'll only put it in like sleep mode. Over time, that operating system runs slower, even if everything appears okay. Something a lot of people I never see talk about is a cannabis hangover. It's less pronounced than alcohol. Next day effects from cannabis use are real, however. And I can say I speak from personal experience. You might be dehydrated, your cognitive drag is going to be reduced, and your reaction time. These are classified as residual neurocognitive effects, impairments that linger after subjective intoxication has faded, especially with frequent exposure to high THC strains. The next day fog that you kind of write off as a slow morning might be your neurochemistry still recalibrating. Cannabis doesn't prevent you from functioning, but it lowers the upper bound of what your functioning can be. You can still meet responsibilities, create art, hold conversations, but you may not notice how much sharper, faster, or more intentional your cognition could be sober. This aligns with the diagnostic profile of cannabis use disorder in the DSM-5. A pattern of that continues despite subtle, persistent interference with life goals. A pattern of that use that continues despite subtle, persistent interference with life goals, cognition, or emotional health. It's not dysfunction in the dramatic sense. It's a plateau, consistent but unchallenged. At a certain point, cannabis use stops being recreational. It becomes self-definitional. You internalize beliefs like, I'm more creative this way. I'm easier to be around when I'm high. This version of me is more authentic. And maybe that's true, or maybe that's just familiar. Cannabis becomes a regulatory mechanism, quieting anxiety, smoothing over social discomfort, dulling emotional discomfort without resolving any of it. Eventually, you're not just managing stress, you're managing your entire sense of self through a filter. The risk isn't catastrophe, it's disconnection. You seem calm but feel disengaged. You sound reflective but lack coherence. You feel in the moment but you're no longer tracking your own growth. And after all of this, I'm still gonna smoke tonight. Alright. You thought this was a PSA, dude? This is like a user manual. It's possible to engage with a substance that you still enjoy. But to recognize its trade-offs without moralizing is more preferred. To see it clearly and then choose anyway, I think is the better route for anyone that is ever trying any substance, minus the bad ones. Okay? Chill out on the bad ones. If cannabis is as harmless as we claim, we should be able to examine it without defensiveness. Fair? And if you're watching this while high, same, dude.